How many times have you gone to an event, whatever that might be? It could be a conference, or it could be just a business after hours, or it could be you meet somebody at a social event, and you've actually collected a business card, and then what happens to that? Most times, absolutely nothing. I have to tell you, I have some stacks of them on my desk. I throw them away every few years or so. But if you and I don't do anything with those contacts after that initial collection of that business card, then all we have is a hobby of collecting contacts. And that's not good. Well, let's discuss. Well, welcome to Legal Marketing Minutes, where I share short bursts of current marketing news and advice. I'm your host, Nancy Myrland. If we haven't met, I'm a marketing, business development, content, social, and digital media speaker, trainer, and advisor for lawyers and their legal marketers. Your time is valuable, so let's get started, okay? Let's look back to a quote that Jeff Weiner has said many times. And Jeff Weiner is the CEO of LinkedIn. And he said, LinkedIn is about connecting talent with opportunity at massive scale, tools that enable people to be great at the jobs they're already doing. And that flows nicely into what I define as the 3 reasons for using LinkedIn. And really this flows nicely into really using any of the social networks, but it's extremely important on LinkedIn. And one of those is to find those with whom you want to do business, to be found by the people you want to do business with, and then, and this is the important one based on what we were just talking about, to turn contacts into connections. And how do we do that? I mean, well, to turn contacts into connections, I mean, it seems fairly obvious, doesn't it? We have to remember a very important rule, and that it takes proper care and feeding in order to grow a true connection, in order to create a connection with somebody. I mean, we can't just join these networks. We have to actually use them. And the more that we give people, us, a piece of us, our helpful attitude, our ability to talk about what they're sharing, our ability to help give perspective, our ability to send a private message every once in a while to say, I'm thinking about you, how is this going? Or just wanted you to know about this, or to share someone's content, then we really haven't turned any of these contacts into connections. Now, once you have, hundreds and thousands of contacts, is that really possible? Well, that's hard to scale on a one-to-one basis, and that really makes the case for having to make sure you're active on a fairly regular basis and being present and doing things that help you to be shown in the news feed, and LinkedIn's algorithm will actually surface your content. But let's talk about that one-to-one and how we turn contacts into connections. You can't have a faith-based strategy. And what does that mean? It means that we can't just throw a bunch of stuff out there, meaning, your LinkedIn profile and just some content, the bragging stuff about what you've done and what's wonderful lately about your practice and about your firm, and just have faith that everybody's going to be attracted to you, because that's really not how it works. I mean, it's easy to sign up for any of these social networking sites. It, just takes a minute, but it's what we do on LinkedIn after we sign up that determines whether or not it will help with business development. So, as I mentioned, get in there and make comments on people's content. Be helpful. And don't just make those comments. I see this so much. I see it on all the sites, really. But on a few sites, it comes across as though there was just no effort behind it. You see it a lot on Instagram because of bots doing it. But it's these where somebody might post something or somebody might share some content, and the only words that somebody posts after it was, oh, great one, and maybe a thumbs up emoji. Like, what do you mean, great what? I mean, what about that was great? And some people are very genuine in it, and you come to know that. But there are then some people who just, they might just say a couple words, and it is obvious that they are absent from a discussion, or that they don't have any desire to engage in a discussion. And that's not what LinkedIn is all about. I mean, certainly we want to go there and we want to learn, and we do need to observe. But if you're going to turn contacts into connections, you have to find a way to connect. And that is no different than what you do in person. You need to engage another person in conversation. And don't do it in a smarmy way, of course. If people aren't ready for a certain level of discussion, you have to use your intuition and have a gut feeling about what's appropriate. But on social media, to comment legitimately and genuinely on someone's content, to share it, to then, talk. And when you share it, talk about why you're sharing it and tag that person who actually posted it originally, to send that person a comment every once in a while, to, yes, click an emoji and say that you like it or you support it, the different emojis that LinkedIn gives us now. But you need to be in there. It's again, it takes proper care and feeding in order to grow. Now, I don't want you to think this takes minutes and hours every day, because that's not true. Because once you start to make these connections and you're there on a fairly consistent basis, you'd be surprised. People think you're there all the time. I get that comment all the time. I mean, there are days when I am traveling and I haven't had much of a chance to be on one of the social networks, but the perception is that I'm there a lot and I'm interacting a lot, because when I am, I dive in and I actually connect with people. So it's a lot like advertising. When I used to be in B2C marketing with Time Warner, we had promotions going on 52 weeks of the year. Did we buy advertising 52 weeks of the year? No, but we bought it so much that I would have friends say to me, my gosh, you guys are on TV all the time, or you're on whatever. I see you all the time. I see your commercials. And it made sense for us to be on TV, broadcast TV, because we were trying to get people onto cable TV. So that's why I use that as an example, that platform. Today, I wouldn't probably use that as an example, but I wanted you to know why I was. But anyhow, when you're there in a meaningful way, when you are there, when you do have a few minutes to be there, it makes a big difference, and it leaves an impression when you do it on a continuing basis. All right? So I want you to turn those contacts into connections. And don't forget your 3 reasons for being on LinkedIn: to find the people with whom you want to do business, to be found by the people with whom you want to do business, and then number 3 is to turn contacts into connections. Well, all right, that's it for today's Legal Marketing Minutes. Please do me a favor and let me know your thoughts about these 3 reasons for being on LinkedIn, and whether or not you find success. And success is relative. We can have small successes. Just maybe a reaction could be even a better word, a starter word. And let me know your comments about that, as I'd love to hear from you. You can always find me on my blog at myrlandmarketing.com, and that's MYRLAND marketing.com. Or if you're on a platform where you can make a comment, I would love it if you would do so. Also, if you're connected to the legal profession, please join my Facebook group. I'd love it. We discuss marketing, business development, content, social and digital media, all the things that I do for a living. And you can find that when you search Facebook for Social Media for Lawyers and Legal Marketers with Nancy Myrland. All right, thank you so much for spending a few legal marketing minutes with me. I know your time is valuable, and I don't take that lightly. So I appreciate you spending a few of them right here with me. Until next time, I'm Nancy Myrland. Take care.